stateside to Fulton County, Georgia, where that investigation is getting underway. CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion joins us now. Nikole, good to see you. I know you have covered every inch of the lead up to all of this, and now we finally have a selection of grand jurors in this case. Can you kind of take a step back and tell us what this is exactly about? And then also, who are these grand jurors that have been selected?
Well, it wasn't just one grand jury, but two grand juries that were selected to serve for this upcoming term, which will span for the next 2 months. But only one of them will likely face this decision about whether to indict former President Trump in connection to the 2020 election interference case that Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis has been probing for the better part of 2 years now. And of course, a big part of that stems from that now infamous phone call that the former president made to Georgia Secretary of State right after the 2020 election, asking him to find the votes to potentially overturn the election in his favor. And so we know that prior to the selection of this grand jury, that there was another grand jury, a special purpose grand jury, that heard months of evidence in this case and heard from officials like the Secretary of State and some of the former president's closest allies, from Mark Meadows to Rudy Giuliani. And so that has really brought us to this moment where now these two panels have been selected. As I mentioned, one of them will eventually hear evidence from the district attorney, Fani Willis, and then they will have the power to potentially indict. And so the district attorney has made clear that that charging decision could come later this summer. Now that this grand jury has been selected, we do expect that she will present that evidence at some point in the coming weeks, followed by a charging decision once this grand jury decides whether to indict or not.
Yeah, Nikole, to that point, I mean, I think everybody's been wondering when exactly this might happen. Do we have any better sense of when the district attorney might bring possible charges now that we actually have a grand jury being established?
Well, the district attorney has been pretty deliberate about the timetable here. She sent out 2 letters this spring, both to law enforcement and to the county's chief judge, notifying them that she intends to make that charging decision this summer, sometime between today and September 1st. But she has since narrowed that time frame to a period between July 31st and August 18th. And that is when she says that a good portion of her staff, about 70% of her staff, will be working remotely. And she has also asked judges, for instance, not to schedule any trials during that period. So that is likely potentially the window when this grand jury panel could hear more evidence, when the district attorney could present her case. And as I noted, a decision could be returned at some point. Caitlin.
All right, Nikole Killion, a lot going on in Atlanta this summer. I know you will be on it. Thank you for joining us.